Hey guys, and welcome to a day in the life of an intern at the United Nations headquarters, New York. So, I'm starting this vlog with showing you some of my morning routine whilst I answer some frequently asked questions surrounding the internship, some questions I had when I was wanting to do the internship, and just questions that I think, could just pop into your head randomly and I think you should know. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with the most frequently asked question, and is that do you get paid for the United Nations internships? So the answer is no. I can only speak for the United Nations headquarters, New York. I don't get paid for this internship, and loads of other interns don't. But I am. Don't quote me. You have to research yourself. But I think the United Nations University and some of its subsidiaries do pay their interns, but on a grander scale they don't. But just double check on the internships that you're applying for. It will always tell you whether they're sponsoring or not. But with that being said, depending on what university you go to or what country you're from, some academic institutions actually do sponsor you to go and do your internships or your country. So double check, you may be one of the ones that the academic institution helps them, and that would be like super great. In terms of me, unfortunately, my university doesn't do that. So yeah, I just have to borne the costs by myself. The second thing, most internships require you to have, or no, most internships require you to actually be currently in school or have graduated within a year of starting the internships. In my case, I'm like in graduate school. I'm doing a master's in international development at SOS University, University of London. So that's how I meet the eligibility for being in school. So if you can't already tell, I'm from London. I'm born and raised London, but I'm actually Ghanaian. So in terms of like living in America for my internship, I'm gonna need a visa. But that was really straightforward to get. In terms of that, they will always help you with getting a visa to come over. So moving from London to New York, I've been. This is my third week out here. As I record this, this is me being here for 3 weeks, and I love it. I've been to America a few times, but I never actually have been to New York. Apart from like this is my first like stint of time in New York, and I absolutely love it. It feels like home. I'm so comfortable here. A few times in the subway, you get used to it, and I'm from London, so like big cities don't throw me off. So yeah, I really enjoy New York. It's really nice. Um, I was really gonna say something, and I've had a brain freeze. I was talking about New York, right? Yeah, New York. Yeah, I love it. Vibes are great. Yeah, New York. That's what I was gonna say. Bear in mind, since you have to sort everything out yourself, you have to sort out your own accommodation, and finding accommodation in New York can be a brain like buster. So make sure once you get the good news, that's the first thing you're out and looking for somewhere to stay, because New York can get pretty expensive. So you want to make sure that you can find like a good deal, and like landlords everywhere are crooks, but just be careful of where you're signing your lease, what you're doing, and how like you're going about that basically. Um, what else? I don't know. Ultimately, it's really the grace of God that afforded me this position. But I'm just gonna give you guys a few tips in terms of like get. This is just getting internships generally. This is not even for the United Nations. Um, just I would say just make sure you have as much experience as you can get on your CV. So like unfortunately a lot of internships are unpaid anyway. If that's a problem, which I know that could definitely be a barrier, there are loads of internships that are going that are virtual now, so they will allow you to virtually do the internship without actually having to commute to where you need to go to, so that cuts down on your cost. Also, if you're in university, speak to your university, because a lot of universities I know will actually offer internships either in the university or like with other companies. That's how I got one of my internships through my university actually, and it was really really good. Speak to family, friends, anything. And if worst comes to worst, I've done it. Just cold email companies that you want to work with and just hope for a response back. I mean, nothing. There's not. You have nothing to lose, honestly. But I would say experience is like the best thing ever. I made sure I had a loads of like internships and experience as much as I possibly could under my belt when applying for things. Um, yeah, basically, I haven't even told you. So I intern for the outreach division on the transatlantic slave trade program in the UN, headquarters in New York, which is really good. We do education and outreach on the transatlantic slave trade and how it affects people of African descent today, in terms of discrimination, prejudice, and all the stuff that comes or that have come with the transatlantic slave trade. So I hope I've answered as many questions as I can. If you have any more, just leave them in the comment section or just DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is akua.ashanti. I'll leave it in the little caption thing, whatever you call it, and let's get into the rest of the vlog. Good morning. We are starting the vlog, walking to work from Grand Central. I'm gonna do my best to get as much footage as I can today, but today's a really busy day. We have an event called Beyond Colonial Slavery, but we're looking at Dutch colonial slavery in partnership with the Rijksmuseum, and Brian Stevenson is going to be our keynote speaker. He is, oh, the sun is shining. He's a lawyer who works for the Equal Justice Initiative. He's the founder actually, so it's going to be really fun. I'm going to try and do my best to vlog everything. It's going to be a busy day, so I'm going to look at my phone as much as I possibly can. So yeah, that's the day today. The event starts at 6:30. I'm getting to work just before 9, so it's going to be a really long day. I'm going to grab something to eat. I normally get something from the cafeteria, but there's a shop in front of me that I want to try out. I don't know if I'm going to, but let's see. Yeah. I didn't get food from the shop, so I'm just outside of the building. How it works in the UN, you have to go through security every single day, like airport style security. So jacket off, laptop, everything. So every day before I come to work, I have to put in mind that I'm gonna have to go through security. So I'm just walking now to the entrance. I can't film obviously because they're gonna ring me up. So I'm just about to go through security and then get through to the cafeteria to find something to eat. Breakfast, now I'm just off to my floor to start some work. I'm in the office now. I'm about to get started on some work on my laptop. I have a few things outstanding from yesterday that I'm going to get sorted whilst I eat. What I had for lunch, I grabbed it from the cafeteria. I wasn't able to show you the cafeteria and our place of eating because I was just so busy this lunchtime, so I literally grabbed the takeaway box and ate lunch at my desk because I had to do some meetings and check out the venue for the event. So I've just stopped to pick up some stuff from the floor to take down for the event, but it's been such a busy day. Like I haven't had time to check in and tell you guys what's been going on quickly. I only have like 5 minutes to do what I need to do, but basically I had meetings, had to help set up the room for the event today. So I'm just now, the event has started. I'm doing runarounds for things that need to be, had to make sure people had their guest passes, passes for the people in the museum, all the different kind of things. So literally been running up and down. Yeah, so I'm about to go back down to the conference room, set up, help the choir that's going to be performing, and hopefully I can film some of the event.
Please join me in welcoming tonight's keynote speaker, Brian Stevenson.
I had the great privilege of going to Nigeria several years ago. It was the first time I went to Africa. When I got there, a lawyer greeted me and he took me around Lagos late at night. And I had a beautiful experience meeting people there in the cities, but I was really tired. At some point I said, look, I gotta get home and get some sleep so I can catch my flight to Abuja the next morning. He said, I've just got to take you one more place. And this beautiful, enthusiastic young lawyer who'd taken me all around Lagos took me to the ocean. And we climbed across the bridge, the concrete there, onto a beach. It was late at night. It wasn't a particularly beautiful space, but he wanted me to see it. And I found myself standing on the shore there, this incredibly generous and very, very energetic young lawyer all of a sudden got very quiet. It was pitch dark. And I was looking across the ocean. And then that young lawyer did something I'll never forget. He turned to me and he said, I brought you here because I wanted to say, I'm sorry that this is where we lost you. And for the first time in my life, I was standing on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. And I had the experience of reckoning with the fact that I'm one of the lost children of the African continent. I also reckoned with the fact that for the first time in my life, someone apologized to me about the pain, the agony, the brutality of the experience of enslavement. And it wasn't someone in America, it was someone on the African continent. But those words meant something to me. I have never forgotten them. And we have an opportunity in our countries, in the world today, to do something bigger and better to reckon with this history. I think we have to begin a new conversation, we have to begin a new era across the globe of truth and justice when it comes to the transatlantic slave trade, of truth and reconciliation, truth and restoration, truth and reparation, because we have for too long been silent about the consequences of this devastating history. I actually don't think the great evil of slavery was the bondage and the brutality and the forced labor. Those things were horrific, but the greatest evil of slavery was the narrative we created to justify enslavement. You see, we have all inherited, in many parts of the world, a narrative of racial difference. That narrative in the United States, it's like a toxin. You can't go anywhere in the United States without seeing these toxins in the air, without experiencing the residue of this pollution created by a narrative of racial difference.
Laten we met andere ogen nog kijken naar iets waarvan ik zelf ook begrijp dat het heftig is. Maar voor jullie is het nog veel heftiger natuurlijk. Dus ik zou ook niet zo'n kaart zomaar willen ophangen zonder dat ik weet wat het met mensen doet. Wat we onder andere zien zijn
Ended my day in the office. We finished our event. It went really well. Everyone's really happy with everything, and it was a great time. I hope you guys saw some footage, but I'm gonna put a link to where you can actually watch Brian Stevenson's speech, because it was really good. I didn't manage to watch the whole thing because I was running in and out. But yeah, this is a day in the life. This is not a typical day, and I just started not that long ago, so I can do another one down the line to show difference in days. And we had an event today. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked the sneak peek into a day in the life of an intern at the UN, New York. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day, good night, or anything like that. But that's that.